Hi, and welcome to this episode of Anna TV, empowering you to live life on your terms through physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial wellness. So, the episode today is about minimizing cancellations at your classes because we all know how frustrating it can be when you've put all of this time and energy into preparing for an event, and then at the last minute you have a cancellation. This could either be people who have said that they're attending, who at the last minute say they can't, or somebody that's offered to host for you, and then at the last minute they pulled the class. So there's a few different things that you can be doing to minimize the chance of this happening. So I've got 6 tips for you today, and I'm going to dive straight in. So the first tip is to make sure that you're always personally inviting people to your events. So personal invitations are really important and really simple to do. So it's like, instead of putting up a Facebook event and then just inviting all your friends to it and hoping that some people come, now in our Facebook feeds, we see something like that, and it's very easy to just say, oh yeah, that looks nice, and then just go on to the next thing, because there's so much just fighting for our attention on there. Imagine how different it would feel if you were the one being invited. Somebody sending you a personal message, or someone giving you a phone call, or someone sending you an invite in the mail, as opposed to just getting invited to a Facebook event along with 50 other people. That personalization really makes a difference. And even make that invitation, say if you're sending a Facebook message, for example, make that really personal. So you could say, hey Mary, how are you? Haven't seen you in ages. I'm hosting an essential oils workshop this weekend. I'd love for you to be there. I think it would be really helpful for you because I'll be talking about some oils that you can use after you go to the gym, which might be really helpful for you. So yeah, just be a great opportunity to catch up, and I'll see you there. Something like that. So that would be an example of a personal invitation. All right, the second way that you can minimize cancellations at your of an event is to coach your host to host with heart. So coaching your host. So your host is the person who is offered to have a class for you and bring a few of their friends together for you to teach them a class. And when one of these classes gets cancelled at the last minute, it's really annoying. So, but you have to think, when you get these cancellations, how have I not showed up? Don't put all the blame on the other person, because you can't really change anything to do with their situation and their circumstances. The only thing that you have control over is yourself. And so how could you have shown up more for that person to stop that from happening? And sometimes, obviously, you can't do, there was no way that you could have stopped that from happening, but in a lot of cases there is, and you have to ask yourself what you could have done. So, for example, a great way to coach your host is to send them an email or a video with everything that they need to know about hosting a class. At first, I didn't do this because I thought, oh no, that'd be really overwhelming. They've just offered to do this thing for me, and then if I send them all this information, they're going to get freaked out. But it's completely the opposite. It's like they're wondering all of these things and they have all these questions, and you're just giving them all the info, and then it just makes it so much easier for them, and they will feel so much more at ease. So the way that you can do that is send an email or a video with all the information for when it comes to hosting, such as the ideal number of people to have, like where they should have it, like their lounge room, backyard, a nearby park, whether you want them to make any snacks for you, if you want them to make some bliss balls, or whether you're going to bring those yourself. Tell them about how to set up their LRP order to ensure that they get any commissions, and teach them the best way to invite. So teach them about those personal invitations. And the third thing that you can do, so my third tip for minimizing cancellations, but also a third tip that you can also be telling your host, is to send out reminders. So, we've all got so much on. We can say yes to something and then next minute other things pop up and we just can get overwhelmed and overloaded. So just make sure that you're always front of mind for everyone. Just make it super easy. So for example, maybe you've invited them a week or two before the event. So that was your first point of contact. Then again, 4 days before the event, send them some kind of message, a voice message, text message, and just say how excited you are to see them on the weekend or whenever the event is. And yeah, you're really looking forward to it. And then the day of, send them a picture of the setup or send them a picture of the bliss balls that you've made and say like, oh, I've just whipped these up. So excited to see you this afternoon, whatever you want to say. But that will just keep you front of mind. Fourth tip, I don't know why I said event. Fourth tip is to set up a Facebook event for communication. And so I don't mean set up the Facebook event as the first point of call, but once people start RSVPing, then add them into that Facebook event if you have that information to add them in. And then you can kind of create that little bit of community around it. And you can put any updates on the location and where you'll be sitting if you're in a park or something, any parking information, reminding them to get there 15 minutes early so that you can start on time. All of that kind of stuff you can put in that Facebook event. The next thing, so number 5, is to get them to pay a small fee. So $5, for example, to secure their spot. Because when people put money into something, they've invested in it and they're more likely to attend your event to make sure that they're getting that value back from it. So yeah, when I first started, for example, I did all of my events for free. And then I changed to the $5 thing. And it didn't like stop anyone from attending. Nobody was like, oh, $5, that's way too much. It's like, people are like, oh yeah, $5, that makes sense. And then they're more likely to attend because they've invested. And a way that you can set that up, you could just collect the $5 at the door. But I prefer to set the event up on a website called Eventbrite. So event and then Brite. I think it's eventbrite.com or eventbrite.com.au if you're in Australia, something like that. But yeah, I set up all the events on there. But the other benefit of setting it up on Eventbrite is that your event is then publicly available and other people who are interested in health and wellness might see it and RSVP and want to attend as well. And so it really gets the word out there about your workshop. And my final tip, number 6, is to remember that the class must always go on. Never, ever cancel a class. Even if you only have 1 or 2 people who have said that they can come, then the class still goes ahead. Even if you have 0 people, then do an online class. You've already committed that time. You blank that out in your calendar. So do something constructive with it, even if in the end nobody ends up attending. Make valuable use of that time. I've once had a class where, I was supposed to have like 8 people coming, and then at the last minute there was only 2 that could make it. And maybe if I had used some of more of my tips above, that might not have happened. But anyway, so I had 2 attending. And I was like, oh, crap, this is going to be embarrassing because, they're going to see that there's only 2 other people there. And, then it'll look like I don't have any friends. But I was just like, no, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to give everything that I have and just serve these people and help them with whatever they need help with. Because if there's only 1 or 2 people, then you can give them such dedicated, individualized, personalized support. And really, so when they leave, they're leaving feeling really supported by you. And so when I had this class with those 2 people, both of them ended up enrolling with a Home Essentials kit. So it just shows you the power of, those having that personal touch. All right, so that is, they're all of my minimizing cancellation tips. Comment below with your biggest takeaway from this video. I'm really interested to know what it is. And also subscribe if you haven't already, because there will be more videos coming up, because I want to serve you in whatever way I can. Also, if you have any suggestions for videos you might want to see, anything that you're confused by, anything that you're struggling with, let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas on what to do videos on. And in my next video, I'm going to be teaching you about 5 other ways that you can be sharing the oils. So I will see you there, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.